Up in there good. There he goes right there. There he goes right there. That pup, that's a pup. Come on and say something, girl. Who is that? What pup is that? Welcome back. Sorry, y'all. This cold been kicking my butt a little bit. But that don't stop us from taking these dogs. Working out with some pups again. My old girl, Ava. It's a little red tick pup over there. I don't know what to call her. She's like a saddlebag, similar, but she got red ticking on her leg. She probably pop out here. Good looking little sucker. There's like red ticking on her leg and whatnot. So I don't really know what to call her, but old girl Riley with the pink collar. What we got over here? One of them pups is working this. My little tricolor female. She's one of the ones that got started a little bit on my last video. Here's Hoss. Still a pup. There's Annie. She really got going on the last video too. So I kind of want to keep my foot on the gas a little bit with them. Since they kind of got going a decent amount last time we were hunting. We're in a different spot, but just trying to stay on them. Stay on them. They got going a little bit, so want to keep their mind on rabbits. Once you get them going like that, you want to keep as much as you can. The follow-up, I think, is even more important sometimes. I like how she's getting up in there good. There he goes right there. There he goes right there. That pup, that's a pup. Come on and say something, girl. Who is that? What pup is that? Who is that? Who is that? That's Annie. Excuse me. She knew that rabbit was in there. She don't know where he went. I might help him out a little bit on it. She get back in there. She knew that rabbit was in there. That's what I'm saying, that follow-up, man. Good girl, Annie. I might help him out just so they can keep it going a little bit. He sure enough popped up out of there. Come and work him out, girl. I'm gonna help you out a little bit. You did great. That was a great job. Little baby, little pup. The other dogs went right past that pile right there, and she put her nose right in there. Again, she don't necessarily know exactly, to follow through with the rabbit, but we saw the rabbit come up out of there. See if I can put some of my old girls on there. Good girl. Man, that still was a great experience for her. Now I want to try to put her on that rabbit. I want to try to, here. Here. Riley, here. I want to try to put him on that rabbit so it kind of locks in her head that she knew the rabbit was in there. She just didn't know where exactly he went. That pup smelling it. Ava, here.
I hope you're enjoying the episode, but did you know people are becoming more interested in rabbit hunting with beagles, but might not know how to start? Don't worry, I got your back. I wrote a book called Producing a Future Rabbit Dog. In this book, I talk about proven concepts, tips, and techniques that I've been using for the last 10 years on all my rabbit dogs. If you're looking for easy to follow information and a guide to get you started on the right track, go to bawlinout and grab your copy. That's Bawlin Out Kennels, BAWLINOUT Kennels.com. Your future rabbit dog awaits. Let's get back to the episode.
That pup knew it was in there. Here. Here he is. Come on, girl. I hope they can smell today. Come on, girl. He's right here. It's right here. Find him. Maybe they can't. If she sure enough didn't want to hit on it, she would have. Let's see what she does. That's another reason I like taking them old dogs too, because if they don't really work on it, I can kind of let you know how the day's gonna go. But man, that still was a real good experience for her. Where's she at? Yeah, here she comes right there. Oh, Annie girl. Yeah, over there you can't smell this sucker. Find him, find him, find him, find him. He's in there, find him. He's in there, find him. Find him, girl. Yeah, maybe they can't smell him. I don't know. Sometimes they'll get off a little bit further and pick up the track a little later, but I'm still happy for that experience right there. She knew that rabbit was in there. Having that follow-up. Look at them pups in there working that. Working it. Still was a real great experience. They don't keep walking around. Hey, that's how it happens sometimes. Of course, you would have liked her to go ahead and run it, or the other dog. Some of the older dogs even came over there and they didn't even run it. So that kind of lets me know what might be going on with that. But the fact that she's even putting herself in that position right there down the road when there is a rabbit to be ran, she'll be able to do it. You know what I mean? Like she'll be able to do it. So I like seeing those traits from her already. And who knows, maybe she'll go and work back over there and actually follow up with the track.
What's up, Bawlin Out Kennels family? Hey, what if I told you there was a place that you could go that had people who are like-minded, love dogs, and love community just like you? What if I told you there was a place that you can go without the drama, where you can give people flowers, where you can share your videos, post, and engage in other people who just want the fun side of hunting with dogs? If that sounds like you, I might have what you need. I started a community called the Dog Man Insider. With this group, it's basically a Facebook group that I created with other like-minded people who just want to share their dogs, who want to share memories, sharing stories, and learn something from each other. We really share information, and you have opportunities to go live with me, along with sharing information on your dogs. And we're just a community that's all about the new and beginning handler, or people who just want the bright side of hunting with dogs. There's a lot of stuff out there that's up against people who hunt with dogs. The Dogman Insider is not one of them. It is a paid group, and it's something that you have to apply for. But if you have that proper mindset and the right person to come into the community, we are more than happy to have you. Again, the Dogman Insider. Check it out on Facebook or message me, and I can get you the process started. We look forward to seeing you.
It's one of my old girls. Let's see. What's up, pup? I like looking around, because if you get too focused on the dogs, especially somebody new just hunting, you're gonna miss your rabbit if you looking right at the dog. We'll see if they can even work it out. They may not be able to, because it's actually probably late in the day. It's like 1 o'clock right now. I don't like that sucker gonna pop up there. But you gotta have fun with it, man. It's part of it. Like I said, y'all would have really liked her to run that rabbit coming out of there, but the fact that she even put her nose in there the way that she did got him up. That's a natural thing for her to do. So again, when she gets more time in the woods and more experiences, it's gonna be a day that situation happens and she's gonna actually run it, and it'll lock in her head, you know. That's what we're supposed to do. They're working. They're trying. Who's right? Who's got it? Who's got it? All the old girls. All the old girls. Y'all gotta straighten this thing out. See a little pup wagging over here. Is he in there? They acting like he's in his pile right here. Like that little pup getting in there. I want to get up in there. Even those experiences of them doing that stuff, I like looking at, especially for pups. Because you can't really make them do that. They just naturally kind of want to put their nose in places. Now, these are the pups that I had in my poor man's starting pen at my house. These are the same pups. So all there was in there was little brush piles like that. And I think it's helped a little bit as far as them wanting to get in there, because that's really all they know. We're going to find a good one at some point. But having realistic expectations too for puppies, man, I don't rush them, man. I really don't. One, I know, like, I'm fairly lucky in the fact that I have older dogs. So if I ever really wanted to just go hunt, I have them. I'll just take, those dogs if I want that. So it takes pressure off. Look at that. That joke gonna hurt. Oh, look at all them rabbit little turds in there. They in here. I know that much. But if I ever just wanted to hunt and not have to worry about some of this stuff, I would just take those older dogs. And sometimes that's the sanity part of it. Keep your sanity, because it's not. We got Abel. There's Annie. Going over there to check it out. Mother pup's coming. Let's see which way they go. Sometimes in here, those rabbits, you might see them running this edge, doing their circle. Kind of waiting to see which way they go. If they go, if they swing this way or if they swing that way. I hope the audio is decent. Last time I tried this, the audio was weird. I don't know. It was the first time I tried it, but the audio was a little weird. There's really no wind. It's one of them days you'll hear that rabbit before you see him. You'll probably hear him coming. Go back out of here. Go back to the trail. Got some sticks with me. There's a section too in here that I think the rabbits might be hanging out in the grass. We'll probably make a circle going around this mowed path and get in there in that grassy area. They usually always jump some rabbits in there too. Which way y'all gonna go? Here, that rabbit's gonna definitely have a gap on them. They're not moving hardly at all. But them old dogs, they've had hundreds of rabbits at this point. If anybody's gonna grub a hard track up, it's them. That's another reason why I bring them too. Obviously, they're not as fast as they used to be, but they 1000% still have a benefit, to me anyway, in those pups. But if they don't get nothing going, we just gonna keep moving on, get them on something that they can actually run. Again, for the sake of the pups. Now, if it's a situation where you see it's tough tracking and a pup does, that's how you know you got a lot of rabbits. Look at that. Them suckers eating all those up. Chewing on all of those. And they got a lot of rabbits. That whole thing is all chewed up too. Ma, this way. Ma. Some of the old girls know that too. When you start calling them, they want to start trying to bark. Make you think that they got some. We kind of actually going through a little heat wave right now. We're just sub-zero a week and a half ago. Now it's almost 60 degrees. Kind of messed some stuff up. It's a nice day, but tracking wise, over the years I've noticed that usually doesn't go as well. The ground is still essentially cold and the air temperature is hot for whatever reason. I don't know, but I just noticed. It can be a little weird sometimes. Here, I'm gonna call these other girls over here. Ma, this way. We're gonna try to put them in another little area. They kind of been stuck in that area for a little while. Maybe we can get them on a different one. Hopefully bump a buck rabbit maybe. That's smelling pretty good. Easy for the pups to run. Because this one doesn't seem like an easy running one. Come on this way. Yeah, I just want to get those pups on something. Hopefully that's runnable. A little bit easier than that. They're still over there working. I'm watching on the Garmin. Pups are still over there. But the one thing I try to do, especially with them early on, is try to keep it as exciting as possible. So if I know that the tracking is not that great or doesn't seem that great, at this age, I try to move, just try to put them somewhere else. I know there's a lot of rabbits, somewhere else that they can keep engaged, keep that excitement. It's no different than a little child. Gotta have that handle on them too. That makes a difference. That makes a difference. By having that handle on them puppies. Let's see if they can bounce one up out of here. But I try to keep it as exciting as possible and engaging as possible for them puppies. That way they don't lose interest. It's more fun. They got the rest of their life to be rabbit dogs, so it's gonna be plenty of times where it's just not as exciting. But they've had enough rabbits, hopefully at that point, that it don't matter. They just work through it. Sometimes you gotta watch these little puppies, little babies. Just like us, if you're doing something it ain't that exciting and ain't that fun to begin with, you kind of get bored and you kind of lose interest a little bit. I try to avoid that with them, if possible. Again, it don't always work like that, but should be able to bounce another one in here somewhere. There's a nice rabbit hole in there. Should be able to. But I like that they're out looking, they're out. Nobody's standing by me. They're out just doing stuff, putting themselves in a better spot to jump a rabbit if possible, or be ready for the trap. That's the kind of stuff I'm looking for. That's what I think about me, is like I'm lenient with puppies until they get to a point or an age that they can actually run, and then I'm pretty harsh on them. Still giving them, abilities and chances to grow, but you got to start, tightening things up. And as much as I go, you'll learn pretty quick what dogs is going to have what abilities and whatnot. Because I have a decent amount of dogs, so I don't like keeping them if they aren't doing their part type of thing. I'm really liking what I'm seeing from all these puppies, really. Like I said, them are 2 old girls right there. Every other dog you see is a pup. They're under a year old. Every single one of them. Except for them 2 old girls right there. My 2 sisters. Like they all searching, they all looking around. Usually up here at this corner, they usually jump one. We'll go down this other trail. If they get into that little grassy area, typically they get one up too. There's always a possibility that somebody come in and hunted them, or coyote got them, or owl. But we still gonna go over there, make a loop, hunt a loop, get them some time. Again, I really don't like that little pup.
Hey, real quick, are you somebody who's new to rabbit hunting with beagles, or maybe on the fence and trying to get started or not? You might want a little bit more help getting pointed in the right direction. Well, I got just what you need. Producing a future rabbit dog. So in this short little book, I pretty much lined out exactly what I like to do when I'm picking my puppies, when I'm training my dogs, and just some other concepts I've learned over the years. Me tied with a bunch of my mentors put this together. A lot of this information is easy to follow. I want it to be as easy as possible for anybody who's never got in with dogs or rabbit hunting with beagles to be able to produce a future rabbit dog. So if you sound like that's you, go on and check it out on Amazon and grab you.
I know some people may think different, but I really don't like hunting them all day at this age. Because again, it's really about keeping them engaged, I think. There might be one in there, I bet. Somebody get in there. It's really about keeping them engaged, making them have fun. The more fun they have, the better off they'll be, I think. Come on. We getting that little grass over there to usually go in there and get one up. Like I said, I like what I'm seeing from her. I think she's gonna be really, really nice. Get her settled in a little more. Got pups in there. There's another pup back there. There we go. I bet they move around in there a decent amount. One should shoot up out of there. The way that looks. You would think. Nobody's home? I guess not. This time of year, man, they be in. Oh, look at that little pup. She's getting a little excited there. I'm not sure why the camera kind of looks like that. The field looks weird, but there's Annie. Yeah, I don't know why the camera looks a little weird like that. Makes the field look super highlighted for some reason. That's not really what it is. Anyway, look at all those pups out there. They're just moving around, bouncing around, doing their thing, having fun. And eventually, they're going to put in one of them piles and shoo, here come a rabbit. And it's on. More recently, I've been noticing that they've been coming out of little bitty piles, like the little brush like that, little grass. The rabbit's been shooting out of there. Keep on moving. See if somebody can get their nose in that one. Well, the wind's picking up a little bit. It's decent. Who's gonna bounce them? Who's it gonna be? There's a little hoss. Nothing else. We'll walk down this lane. If not, I'll cut in. I think there's another trail that goes kind of towards this grassy area. If they don't just go over there by themselves. Usually they, oh, look, they're already going over there, so that works. That works decent enough. Yeah, I don't know why that camera is looking like that. It looks weird. Like I said, I hope the audio is decent because the first time I did this was last week. Let's see the old girl get one out of this little pile. The audio was weird. Like it was sounding like I was in the underwater or something. Then some points it was working really good. So I don't actually know. There's a jump there. Figured if they got in that grass, they could get one up. Look like they're working out the backside. There he is. Here he comes right there. There he goes right there. See if they can actually work them out. So let's take this off. I have my shotgun, but it's really only if the dogs do really, really good on one. And it don't seem like that's going to be today. There's a second rabbit we've seen, but they haven't really been able to track them. But I like showing this side too, just because, oh, that pup is smelling something. Yes, that's where that rabbit went. I like showing this side too, just because people think you just see the highlights and whatnot, which I do that too, but I kind of like showing the other side of it, that, man, it's not always running rabbits, or tracking is excellent, that you just get into a pile of them and whatnot. It's just not what it is all the time. And I really try to only shoot the rabbits that the dogs are actually running. When you get into a decent amount of them sometimes, them rabbits will be coming out of everywhere. And the best you can, sometimes you don't know, but the best you can, I don't try to shoot rabbits that dogs aren't running or don't appear to be running. Because if my old girl still can't even really work it out, then can't really expect too much from these pups, although that's where that rabbit went. You stuck? Oh, there you go. That's where he went. That's where that rabbit went. That pup is on it. That pup was on it. He smelled something. There's other pups in there. Yeah, it gotta be a little rough today. There's some other pups there. An old girl. Got a little pup cut in right where that rat was at too. Yeah, I don't know. Just chalk it up for, hey, that's how it is sometimes. That's how it is sometimes. You keep messing around in there. Yeah, let's see. But she's smelling that one that we saw. But that one really wasn't running that fast. A lot of times you see them rabbits, when they get jumped, them suckers are moving. They're not really tipping out of there. That rabbit could have just been hanging out and getting out the way. Amy. She's working it. She's trying. There she is. It's right where that rabbit went at. Then he cut across here. There she goes. She got that one. See if they can work it out.
What's up, Bawlin Out Kennels family? Hey, what if I told you there was a place that you could go to have people who are like-minded, love dogs, and love community just like you? What if I told you there was a place that you can go without the drama, where you can give people flowers, where you can share your videos, post, and engage in other people who just want the fun side of hunting with dogs? If that sounds like you, I might have what you need. I started a community called the Dog Man Insider. With this group, it's basically a Facebook group that I created with other like-minded people who just want to share their dogs, who want to share memories, sharing stories, and learn something from each other. We really share information, and you have opportunities to go live with me, along with sharing information on your dogs. And we're just a community that's all about the new and beginning handler, or people who just want the bright side of hunting with dogs. There's a lot of stuff out there that's up against people who hunt with dogs. The Dogman Insider is not one of them. It is a paid group, and it's something that you have to apply for. But if you have that proper mindset and the right person to come into the community, we are more than happy to have you. Again, the Dogman Insider. Check it out on Facebook or message me, and I can get you the process started. We look forward to seeing you.
I imagine it. Either he's gonna run all the way up there and try to cross again, or you might do another smaller loop and end up here and try to get back to where they jumped him at. More times than not, he gonna go back to where they jumped him. That's a pup. That's almost a sight chase. That's a puppy. Them pups. Pups in there now. Puppies across that lane. My guess he's gonna run the edge of this. It's like a marshway or a pond or something just on the other side of this timber. They like running the edge of that. They like running the edge of that this way. And they'll either cross that trail we come down earlier, or they might even do a smaller circle here, run the edge of this, and then get back over into that grass. This is the patience part. Let them dogs figure it out. I don't know. Where the pups go? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. They're all the 4 pups. Don't get in there and get him up out of there. All 4 pups right there. Yeah, I guess it'd be like that, man. I don't really know what to say. Part of what happens. I like showing the good, bad, and the ugly. Whatever's gonna happen, gonna happen. That's all you can do. We're gonna walk them down a little bit further. Try to stick them back in that grass again. Should be able to get one up jumped. This thing is on fire. Looks like it's on fire. Right? He might cross up there. He might cross up here. Sometimes it may even be worth, like say you have a hotter nose. I know. Let me see. There's a rabbit. There he goes. He might cut across that trail. I just saw him by this tree. There we go. There's another pup in there. Now we on it. One of them pups jumped that rabbit. I don't think they know they did. There we go. Hear them puppy voices in there? Boy, I gotta make you happy. Make me happy. That's Annie, boy. There's a little opening that goes down to the waterway. There's some puppies. There's a big brush pile over here, though. He might have went in there. Listen to them puppy voices. Look like he bypassed this big brush pile. That's the big brush pile I was talking about. I'm gonna try to stand at this point so if he come this way I can get him that way, or if he crossed this little trail I'll be able to see him too. killed a lot of rabbits in this spot right here. Maybe he did hit that brush pile. It kind of stopped. Hopefully they can keep him going. That's how it's kind of been today, as y'all been seeing if you've been following the video. It's been jump, run a little bit, lost. Jump one, run a little bit, lost. Jump one, don't run it at all. But again, that's part of it, man. I don't want to give false expectations to people. There's some days, some points of the year, times of the year, when stuff is starting to transit, like, you know, go from winter to spring, or fall to winter, summer to fall. There's little periods in there, at least in the Midwest, I noticed. And it can depend on where you're at, obviously, but there's little periods in there to where you got a stretch of a week or two that just tracking is just not that great until the weather kind of becomes consistent. And right now we don't have that. It's a record high for February right now. There's some pups over there. I bet that joker went in that pile. That's what I think he did. That's what I think happened, but obviously I wasn't down here when he come through, so I don't know, but that would have been my guess. He would have went in that big pile right there. But that's part of it. Yeah, I can't say it enough. Gotta be realistic. Gotta be realistic. Here coming the old girls too. There's one of them. I bet that, I want to say that sucker went in this big brush pile right here. One thing I like to see though, like again, these pups, they're not staying by my feet. They're out in the woods, putting their noses in places. It's very hard for them not to, at some point, continue in that pattern that they ain't gonna bump a rabbit at some point in time. Especially if you take them to a place that has rabbits. It'd be hard for them not to. Like, and you can always bring a dog back in, but if they don't want to go out and hunt a little bit, it's very hard to kind of make them do that. It's like either they're going to do it or they ain't going to do it. There's a little breeze. Heard a squirrel earlier. I'm trying to find that sucker. Our season's out anyway, but I just like doing it. just because. We'll keep walking around the edge of this. Got a little bit more time, not a whole lot. Again, I try to keep it fairly short for these puppies, especially at this age. I want them to stay in most engaged as possible. So if it's a day where I know tracking is not that great and they can't really smell the rabbits, and then the older dogs are struggling a little bit with it, I kind of cut the hunt short. Again, just to keep them dogs engaged. They're babies. And then on days where tracking is really good, then we'll stay out longer. I'll let them learn later that, hey, sometimes it's tougher than others. Sometimes you run them good, sometimes you don't. But I don't want them to learn that lesson too early, because again, they start losing interest, possibly. Because I know we can walk. This trail goes down and it cuts over. Then there's a big loop and it ends up way back over here. There's a whole other section we could walk over, but like I said, the way this is already going, there's kind of no need to do it. Obviously, we can jump rabbits in this front section, but if they can't really run them, then it doesn't, exercise. They're getting out and about doing stuff, which is great. But I want to make it as productive as possible too, knowing that, you got to work a job, you got to do these sort of things. You want to try to maximize the time that you can get in the woods with your dogs. And I always said, man, you got to enjoy being out here. It's an old girl. Sorry, this cold's kicking my butt. So I'm trying to come up, come out. That's good, but see if they can figure out where he went. They're kind of down in that grassy area along that water. Which way did he go? Felt like Elmer Fudd. Which way did he go? Which way did he go? I forget what character does that. Yeah, y'all was kind of struggling with him. It's a pup. We'll go back and walk towards that direction. Again, this is one of them days, man. I wish it was a little better. But can't beat this nice out here training puppies. Getting them puppies some work. Gotta enjoy being out here. These make all them other times enjoyable. Like them days where you just can't lose a rabbit even if you try. Days like this make those days so much more enjoyable. Because you remember these days. On good scenting and tracking days. Makes them more enjoyable. You appreciate them more, eh? That's a better way to say it. You sure appreciate them a lot more. Really don't want to drill a hole into this gun, but might have to find a different way to keep it. I just have a wraparound sling right now. It just goes over the barrel and then around the buttstock. But it kind of slips off from time to time. I don't really want to drill a hole into it either. That's junk. That's a jump. All those puppies in there. That's definitely a jump. You gotta love them baby voices. It's definitely a jump. I love them baby voices. Stuff like that, man, and then boom, it's on. Just that fast. Sorry, y'all, this cold's getting me, but we're getting through it. Uh-oh. Crossed over. If they don't go all the way down, they'll cross over right up here. They usually like crossing like right there. Sound like he came back. Where the pups are right here. Huh. Where'd he go? Say, I didn't see him cross, not that he didn't. I think he's in there. Oh, and he can pick that one up. I didn't see him, so I can't help you. Oh, there he goes. He just crossed down there behind him. And y'all probably didn't see that. Maybe you did. He was way back there. He was like way back there. Wasn't a very big rabbit. It wasn't very big at all. Let's see what time it is. How much time I got? We can try to walk down here. I got a little time. This is how I go too when you kind of crunch for time a little bit. You got to take care of some other stuff, but then you go put them on this rabbit and this be the one that they'll be able to run for an hour. Then you got to try to catch them. You got to try to break them off the rabbit, which can be tough sometimes. Or you really don't want to. I bet it's that same rabbit. This could be a different one. Here. I think this is where he crossed somewhere in here. Here. Here he is. She probably be the one to hit it. Find him. Here he is. She's working that little pile down there. Little baby. No, boy, they don't smell him at all. That's crazy. That is craziness. Can't smell them worth of nothing. We try. Well, guess we're going to wrangle them up. We tried. They got some action a little bit, but the tracking part of it was not at all good. Not even a little bit good. But yeah, I mean, that's how it is sometimes. It's not all great sunshine, blue skies. I mean, sunshine, blue skies today, but hunting wise, tracking wise, it just don't always work that way. All right, they found the one I saw. She's that same one that does that. When you want to go, you want to get moving, you tone her, she want to start barking. She realized that means the fun is almost over. That's where I saw that rabbit at, though. Let's see. There's babies over there in that grass. Might slip the GoPro on and the GoPro on. See if they can work it out. The old girls are grubbing them up. They're working, but they're not really moving. Not really moving them. They're about right there. We're letting them work it out, but they are not doing great with it. That's a pup. Yeah, not the Grady. Well, I guess while there's a little break in the action, or lack thereof action, and they get going again. There's a puppy up further than them. If we do get a look at this rabbit, I guarantee he's not going to be running fast at all. A lot of times they'll jump from here, they'll run the edge of that tree line and end up on this trail coming back this way. I might have saw him. Just depends on which way they go once they hit that. If he goes down the other way of the tree line, it's kind of the same thing. He'll end up down further and do the same thing, come back across this grass and end up in this little tree line, doing this circle like that. I've seen it sometimes too on the other side of that tree line. It's kind of like a pasture or whatever. I don't know where they run out there, because it's somebody's, part of it is somebody's property, whatever. But a rabbit will run straight for a while, and then you'll see them just do a small loop and then come right back. I've seen them do that before too. I've never been over there to see where they actually go. It's kind of hard to tell. It kind of sounds like they're working that way a little bit. Yeah, they are. So we're gonna slide down. Might try to. I've had people ask me, like, why don't you use your GoPro all the time? One, GoPro batteries to me suck. Batteries don't last long. They don't last long. And then when you want it to record something really good, it'll stop recording. Or just do something weird where it'll like time out. If you've been playing like as long as I've been running this video, it would have timed out. And I would have missed some good stuff. Sounds like that rabbit's standing in that tree line. He's starting to come back. I'm gonna put my phone up. Transition to my GoPro. See if we can knock him down for the pups.